today. From M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the New Orleans Saints.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 18. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately, 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, 1 cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And this one is incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
They go play action now. Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Well, this defense for the Saints, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road. And
you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Jackson. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And some room to roam now. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up first and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And this time he is in. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Saints have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Good footwork at the 30. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 3 yards remain for second down. Now a handoff here to his running back.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Myles Garrett, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. 17-0 to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 16. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Out of the gun now on third down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a fourth down. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Rashawn Slater, first-round pick in 2021, guilty there. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. Oh, wide open, complete. 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. An even 90 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet. 2nd and 11. Trying to lay one up deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception. And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there.
and you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
61 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
How about that, partner? That's a gutsy run, a physical run, an explosive run, and he's inside the 10-yard line now. I don't know if you hand it to him again on this play, but make the defense think that you will, and maybe you have some options off of it.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints are able to widen their lead here in this first half. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play. To be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage, and instead they were vulnerable to the pass.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Rolling to his right. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. But nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Hey, check, Mike 21, Mike 21, check.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Hands it off out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll set up to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 73 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
On first down, it's Taylor, and he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning.
And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And, Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball down the field as well. I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
That's pulled in at the 32. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And quickly, they get to the line. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Saints have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
McPherson now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Now you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They're going to look to throw. It's caught. It's Chenault again. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team.
There he goes, right side. The 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that, man. One play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that will extend this big lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. He'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead will swell by 1 more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now the ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
A handoff to Smith.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
To throw is Jackson. This is caught. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Heading back out there now, the Saints defense. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers, offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flush to his right. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. His throw caught right around the 6. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The New Orleans defense, we get set to watch them go. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy.
Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled? Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
They'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
McPherson on for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now back to throw.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe than returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. On the give, this is their fullback. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
26 Mike, 26 Mike.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They'll try and run with their fullback. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
by
the time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
They begin with a run by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On the run, it's Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 2nd down, here's Smith, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit. Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Looking to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Slant to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had a strip. The ball comes out. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. They'll go option to the short side. They'll keep it on the ground. Joseph.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down now.
It's Joseph. And this will wind up as Saints first down as good running gets him to about the 44. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Rolling to his right. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. But it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 2nd and 6. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Back to throw now on 1st down. That's going to be caught. It's Chenault. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they will indeed limp to the finish line, unfortunately, as they close out a 6-11 campaign. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.